So the amp is now soldered in, and I've got thermal paste connecting it to this. It's all soldered underneath. So now I'm going to put it back into the cab and test it, and hopefully the sound is better. I did buy a thermometer as well, like an infrared thermometer, to see what this sort of temp that this goes up to see if it's anything else. I've got these new chips, the LA4 blah 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 4705 amps. Put the first one in and there's no sound. I checked all the points, there's voltage going to it, everything's there. It's like it's stuck in mute mode. I don't know if there's a way of taking it out of it. So what I'm doing is I'm thinking it might be that chip amp, and I'm just putting a second one in. I'm going to put that in, solder it in, and give it another test. Okay, I'm about to test. This is the other. I've not put the screws in for this heatsink to hold it down to the board because there's no point if I've got to take it back out. So this is the second of the amps. The first one I got no sound, and I don't know why. I checked all the continuity, I checked the through holes once I took the other one off again, and everything's good. As far as I can see, there's no leaking, nothing of the caps. So I'm going to turn it on, and I'm hoping we get sound, which we don't still. Hang on, there's the volume. Doesn't matter that wire, that's for the... Okay, so what's annoying is the voltage is coming in. I mean, the game is clearly working. I'm going to stick some credits in. But there's no sound. There's no sound whatsoever. So it's either both of those chips, whatever, amps are dead, or there's something else going on. So I've got a feeling they may be wired slightly different to the original, which is going to be a pain in the arse to try and work out and to find out how to sort that. So, you know, a 4705 should be a 4705 whether it's now or back in the 90s, and I don't know exactly what, so I'm going to have to start digging now to work out what's going on. So 4705 was in, obviously was crackling problems, low sound. Took it out, waited for the other part, put one in, no sound at all. Tested it, took it out, put it back in, again no sound. Took it out, swapped it for another 4705, still no sound, and now I've just gone back to the original one with new thermal paste just to see if it has sound. If this has sound, God knows what's going on. And there's bloody sound. What the hell? Right, so look, this is why, you know, when you're using AI and stuff like that and you're trying to talk to it and tell it things, you tell it things that's happened and it gives you a rough idea of what's going on. It doesn't give you the full, like, this is the answer, because you start questioning yourself as a human when you're using AI, because you start going, well, I've done this, it should be right, and it's like, oh, but did you do it this way? And I'm like, well, yeah, I did. And then you do it, and you answer all the questions, and it goes, well, then there's something else wrong with the board. Well, clearly there's nothing wrong with the board if the sound is playing with the original amp. So the problem is either these two amps that I got, and they're both absolutely knackered, and they're just fake and they don't work, or they're just wired differently with modern standards. Maybe the one from the 90s is just wired different, and that's all it is. But I can't ask AI because AI doesn't know, so I'm going to have to ask on one of the arcade groups to see if anyone else knows, because there's definitely nothing, touch wood, there's nothing wrong with the original amp in sense of that it does work, but it will overheat. I've added new thermal paste, maybe it'll run better, but these ones, they don't work, so I need to work out why they don't work. So I've got my temp gauge, and I'm reading the temp. And it fluctuates depending on obviously what sounds play in, things like that. So at the moment I'm getting anything between 36 and 45 degrees, which I think is in tolerance. So it is actually heating up and it is working. I'll keep an eye on it and see how it goes, but at the moment, maybe all along it was okay, just needed a new thermal paste application because it was obviously dried out from the 90s. I'll keep an eye on the temps. So the cab is, I mean, I don't even know where to start. I don't want to waffle for ages because I know it winds people up, but let's go on for the first thing. First of all, the two holsters turned up. They turned up from Egypt. They actually took about 4 days once they got shipped. It took him about 5 days to ship them, but once he shipped them, they arrived. As you can see before, the condition of those was absolutely shocking. When you look at things and they've got a little bit of rust on the edge and things like that, you got to realise it's probably hidden rust. And what it was if you looked, these were rusted right under here and all under there. This is horrible. So now I stripped them back. I used the paint stripper, repainted them, 2K clear coat, and I did them obviously to match the red and the blue. And I think they look really good. I mean, they're not perfect. They're not perfect, but I think they look great. Next thing is the audio amp. Obviously, I pissed about with that audio amp. Obviously, it was getting really hot, and then all of a sudden, it was going down to like 10 or 5% volume. And then once it hit that 5% volume, it'd start crackling. So obviously something was going wrong. It was almost like it was going into thermal throttle and pulling itself back. So I got 2 new amps, and they took ages, absolute pain in the backside to get them to turn up. I got them, I put the first one in, and then there's no sound. I put the second one in, and then of course there's no sound. Last thing to do is go back to the original one. So what I did was I cleaned the original up, I cleaned the metal again, added new thermal paste, some Arctic MX4, added that, screwed it in place, haven't screwed it fully down yet. Started testing it, and I was hitting about a top end. I was sort of getting to 56 degrees before I was thinking maybe this is getting a bit too hot, so I turned it off. And what I did is I wired a 12 volt fan. I had a spare fan inside, so at the moment, if you look in here, get in here. And this is just temporary, it's just sitting like this for now because I'm just testing. This 12 volt fan is just wired in, running on full speed, and it's just blowing straight at the board and the heatsink. Now I know that it's a hot day and I'm in a conservatory as well, that doesn't help. But on the Point Blank 3 cab and the Point Blank Aim for Cash, they have a heat, like a vent here, a vent at the top, and they also have a shell that this goes in with a big fan on it. And I'm talking a big, thick fan, and it blows air at it. It makes me wonder, like, you know, should these actually be cooled? I don't know. There's a chance that those caps that are here, I don't know if it will show up on the camera, those caps there, there's a chance, I mean they're running at 27 degrees, let's have a look, 28 degrees. There's a chance that those caps are out of spec, and what they're doing is they're sending the wrong information basically over to the amp, and the amp's having to deal with the voltage variance and then putting more heat out. Now if I read this heatsink, this is the first time I'm going to read this for like 10 minutes. When I was reading it before, it was about 38 degrees, and then it went up to about 45. Obviously we've got that fan on it at the moment. Let's have a look what we're getting. So now I've had this on for about 10 minutes, and I'm getting, that's 38 degrees. It's on quite a loud volume as well, 36, 38. Now, to me, it's saying there, we're getting 39.1 as a high end, which means I've got a feeling it was a thermal problem. And now, obviously, when I was testing this and stuff, you've got to remember, this conservatory is bloody hot. In the house at the moment, obviously we're having work done, so when this is all finished, this is going to be in here, and this is going to be air conditioned. But for the state of it at the moment, it's in the conservatory. Now, I've got this crappy fan on the ceiling that come with the house, and obviously you can see this conservatory shit. Like, it needs to be knocked down and started over. But it does get hot in a conservatory. Ask anyone on YouTube who's like either got a games room in the attic, I think like James or whatever, or you got Tootie or whatever, I think he's in a conservatory. Remember when the videos he used to make where he was sweating, and now obviously the temperature recently has been really hot, but today is actually one of the cooler days. Today's 24 degrees. So in here, I mean, I could probably use the temperature reading, but in here it's still probably a bit of a toasty, like 29 degrees in here. And obviously sunlight's coming in, blah, blah, blah. So it makes me wonder if it was a thermal issue at the time. Now, it was hot, but it was overheating and causing issues. So at the moment, I'm still going to leave it running for another 20 minutes. I'm going to get a drink and then just sit down and tidy up and that and see how it goes. Because at the moment, I've got it on a good volume. And as you can see, it's on and it sounds bloody great. It's looking good. So I don't want to say it, but I think it might be, you know, it might be okay. And it might have been a temperature thing. So what I'm going to do, leave it, see how it goes. I'm going to put the board back in position. And what I want to do ideally is have a fan that's sort of, it would be nice to have a fan with an intake, which is awkward now because I can't really fit it on the door without a long extension. Because obviously you don't want to forget and take the door off and just rip a wire out, do you? Because that's going to cause chaos. But at the same time, when you've got a thing like a fan, you want to disconnect it, because if you do need to remove the door, it's going to be a pain in the backside to have to keep unscrewing the fan every time. But maybe the fan inside just blowing on the heatsink in there is enough to keep it you know, happy. But I don't know. Only time will tell. So maybe I'll stick the back door on and just see how it copes. It's on for about 40 minutes now, and it seems a little bit happier. So we're going to take that back door off, one-handed. It's a big old beast. Spin that around and then place it down there. Gonna grab the old thermometer, kicker box like that, and then we're gonna go bam. We are fluctuating between 38, we'll be up to 47, it's climbing, 47, 46. I mean, I'm happy with that. It's all over the place, but it's not going mental like it did before. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna screw this back in place, and I'm gonna have to put some sort of bracket system with the fan on. This was with the back door closed, just with air in there, the ambient temp just blowing at it, and it was fine. So I'm going to just screw that back down, that bit there, and then screw this to the floor, and then have to make a mounting bracket for that. But I think we're okay. I think we're actually, we're just at the final bit now. The only other thing I've got to do is drop in the other gun. You can see the wire there. And the reason I haven't is because it is a new old stock gun. It's a spanking new pink gun. And I didn't want to stick it in here with all the heat and the sun and just upset it and fade it more than, you know, from, well, it's brand spanking new. So I didn't want to upset it. So for now, I'm not going to attach it to the cab yet until it's going in there, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. And then we should be done.